is going to fight with his own kith and kin, his own people. So that is why he refuses to fight, and he gives lot of explanations, justifications to say that this is not done. And then Krishna takes him step by step, counsels him, he listens to him, and then he tries to, he not tries, he's making um, Arjuna understand uh, in his own way. So, in the sense, in between, Krishna tries to bring higher level of thinking, spiritual thinking, and in between, he tries to understand, make him look. He sounds very logical, as though it is just what I should say, day to day affairs. He kind of, he says everyone who is going to be born is going to die. Haven't we seen people, whoever is born, who is going to die? So what is so great about it? You go and fight. The entire Bhagavad Gita is to motivate Arjuna to fight. And today we shall see what is this fighting. Is it just a dharma yuddha, or the war for righteousness, or something beyond, and how Krishna addresses that, which makes it generic, applicable to all of us. It will not be, it's not only for Arjuna, it is applicable to every human being in his or her own situation. The lessons that Krishna gives to Arjuna on the battlefield, it is mainly to motivate him, but this context has to be applied to all of us in our day-to-day activities. Each one of us represent Arjuna, and Krishna is a Sarathi, or as a companion, and not only for Arjuna but for all of us. For all of us he is a companion. The same statements which he is making to Arjuna are definitely going to be applicable for us. We must try to see how much we can relate to that situation. It need not be fighting the war in the battlefield, but it is undergoing those challenges in our day-to-day life. So with that, we will start. Before that, so far in the second chapter, Krishna motivates him, and he has taken him in the Sankhya Yoga, chapter 2, to the greatest truth of life. What is this human being? What is the true nature of human being? Apart from convincing him with I should say, as I said, logical, rational things which he can understand, he takes him to the higher level, which says that you are not killing anybody, because nobody can be killed. No body can be killed, because only the body dies. His true spirit never dies. Atma never dies. Each person is an embodiment of that Atma. It is just like changing your dress. So, when the dresses get old, he gives different examples. One of them is when your dress is old and maybe it is torn, you are no longer interested to use the same dresses, you change over. Similarly, the Atma, when it finds that this body is no longer suitable, Atma means Atma with the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. Atma per se is a manifestation of the divine. It is a manifestation of the consciousness. So it is unaffected at any point of time. But the body, mind, intellect, which forms a Sukshma, not the body, mind, intellect, which forms a Sukshma Sharira. That means all our impressions, that is a subtle body, which we explained last time. That with the Atma, they move from this body to the next body in order to fulfill the our karma. So he says Atma will never die. This Janma, this body is there for this birth. Next birth, this Atma with the subtle body travels to another body. So that entity as such, if you see, it will never dies. It will find its end only when it achieves that moksha. That means liberation from this cycle of birth and death. So you need not worry, Arjuna. Duryodhana was there in the previous birth, he is there now, and again he will come in another birth, because there is a theory of rebirth as long as the entire creation is following law of karma. Therefore, do not be afraid, Arjuna. You are not going to. That doesn't mean, as I said, I emphasize, that doesn't mean we can hurt anybody, we can kill anybody because it's just an Atma, it is not going to die. No, that's not applicable. Here, it's applicable in such context where we are killing some persons for the dharma, for to maintain some law and order, for righteousness. It is called dharma yuddha. Just like the people, army people or the defense people, they fight for the protection of the country, and when they fight with the enemies, that is not adharma, it is dharma. So there killing does not matter at all. So similar thing applies to this context also. Therefore Krishna tells Arjuna, do not grieve, do not lament, because Atma is indestructible, avyaya, it is not going to change, immutable, imperishable. He uses all kinds of adjectives to describe the Atma, and he says this statement, as I said, just like we change our body, the Atma changes, just like we change our dresses, the Atma changes the bodies from this body to next body. Second thing he says is, normally, don't you see a person when he is born, he becomes an adolescent, Kumara, and he becomes Yauvana, that means youth. He is young fellow, adolescent fellow, teenager, adolescent, adult, and then he becomes old. And then after what? After that what? Once the body becomes very, very fragile, then this it has to die. So the Atma moves to another body. It is just the movement, it's a journey of the soul, which is going to be taking place forever, forever, forever. And he says, I also have taken birth several times. You also have taken birth several times. You are not aware of that. We will also take birth again. Therefore, do not grieve. This is the background he gives, and then he describes what is Atma. And then we said that we must be aware that we are all the manifestation, this whole expression through the body and through our words or whatever we are expressing is limited to this body. But actually within us is that Satchidananda Swarupa, Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is sattvic and permanent. Chitta is our intellect. Sat Chit is all pervading the Chit, and Ananda Swarupa. Ananda, this Atma is always in a state of not happiness, it's called as bliss. So we are all basically in that our real nature is to be in the blissful state, but we have been hypnotized by the materialistic world, which also is his creation. He has created this material world, and he has created a lot of distractions, and the body mind tries to go there. But the truth is, you need to come back, you need to go inward, you need to realize your real nature, which is Atma, which is Satchitananda. So do not get perturbed by small things, because they are all transient. That is very important word, temporary. We cannot condemn the presence of this materialistic world. We cannot condemn the presence of Maya, it is called in the technical words, but just we'll say we are having family, we have everything around, we have a profession, we have our duties, responsibility. We cannot condemn, we cannot let go. It is through this we have to understand our true nature. This material world must be used only as a medium, and it should not be taken as a permanent thing. We should not get stagnated. We should not, we must start thinking beyond this. And beyondness starts from becoming selfless and becoming more sattvic, developing bhakti towards God, and following karma yoga, as we shall go ahead in this chapter. We'll understand. So there are various methods that will take us to that state of mind. It's a long journey, but as long as we have that goal in front of our mind, that is my destination, then we will try to accommodate these things without getting perturbed, without accepting as a coward, but without being overreactive. We tend to carry out our day-to-day activities in a peaceful, calm state of mind, with our focus on that goal. And what is that goal? To become manifest that divinity. And I repeat that statement of Swami Vivekananda. Every human being is potentially divine, and the purpose of human birth is to manifest that divinity. Every human being is potentially divine. He has a divine potential. That means anytime he can become exactly like Krishna. And the goal or the purpose of the human life is to manifest that divinity. We stop there. So now we shall start with 31st shloka, chapter 2. 31st, yeah, okay. स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष तविकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्भियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते. So in this shloka he says swadharma, he brings a word called swadharma. Swadharmamapi chaveksha na vikampitum arhasi. Do not waver, because you are following your own dharma. Do not waver, because there is nothing shreya, means nothing above, higher for a kshatriya than following the dharma yuddha. Dharma, following his dharma. Dharma here means not the religion or the caste, it is his duty. So here Krishna brings about the one statement, that is swadharma. What is the swadharma? Swa is self, dharma is your way of conduct. Actually we can use it as a conduct. How you have to conduct? You have to conduct in the way that you fulfill your responsibilities which is allotted to you. What is a responsibility which is given to me? It depends on my varna and my ashrama. So this varna is actually often misinterpreted. Varna is 4 castes, not castes actually, they are categories. We should not call them as caste. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are 4 varnas. And Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtyam guna karma vibhagashaha. In further we will come to know that shloka. So what does it mean, guna karma? Guna means his property, his attribute. How does a person has an aptitude towards something, he has a skill for something, so that is his guna. Based on that, varnas are there. Varnas means Brahmana. Who is a Brahmana? Brahmana is a highly knowledgeable person, and there are different descriptions for a Brahmana. By being born in the family of Brahmana, he cannot be Brahman. Brahmana has to qualify certain criteria. Lot of criteria are there. One is basically he should be so knowledgeable. He should follow dharma first of all. He should be highly principled. He cannot only preach, but he has to perform. He has to show dharma is like this. And he should be broad-minded, and he should consider Brahmana should be knowledge andre not only bookish knowledge. That knowledge has to be practiced. He should consider Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire world is one. So there should be no disparity. And he should ideally teach this Dharma Shastra to all categories of people. It is not only in between, no. It should not be restricted to particular sections of the society, no. It should go to everybody. That is why Veda Vyasa, when he realized Vedas and Bhagavad Gitas and things like that were usually taken by intellectuals, he said, let me do Bhagavad Bhakti, which can reach every person in this globe. Every person of whatever category, whatever be his intellectual capacity, whatever be his responsibility, or whatever be his category in the society. I don't want to use the word caste. So Brahmana should be like that, and whoever fulfills that criteria, whoever is learned, whoever is empathetic, whoever works like a role model, whoever is respectful, and whoever can advise everybody based on his maturity. So he is considered as the highest person in the society. Entire society, he should behave in a way that entire society should look up to him. That should be his performance. That is Brahmana. Kshatriya is a warrior, and Brahmana has his own type of food or dressing up or whatever. He has his own shuchi. There are so many things. I will not go so much into this. Is a brief description of a Brahmana. So anybody in any category, whoever has got these qualities is called as a Brahmana basically. Kshatriya is a warrior. For example, we have people in the army who protect our country across the borders. They are all Kshatriyas. and they have their own kind of mentality, their skills, their attitude, their aptitude, everything changes. So Vaishya is a person who does agriculture as well as he is into business. He does business, he does commercial, he is involved in commercial activities, give and take and like that. So he is Vaishya, who sells. And Shudra is a person who actually makes things convenient for all the people in the society. That is a real definition of Shudra. He takes care that everybody, all categories of the society, they all have amenities. And basically what used to happen was, some people who were not so intelligent, who could not take initiative, who could not establish themselves either as Brahmana, Kshatriya, so they would start following the orders. This is what I have read in one of the commentaries. So they would start following the orders given to them. They were not so intelligent to initiate or establish. So whatever you tell, they will do. Like that it started. But people misinterpreted and they started following, what I should say, differentiating people. That should not be done. But anyways, this is the true meaning. It is not, doesn't mean that whoever is born in Brahmana family is a Brahmana, whoever is in Shudra family is, no, it's not like that. This is based on their guna, karma. This is the varna based on their guna and the karma. Karma means what kind of activities they do. What kind of activities? Guna is his aptitude, and what kind of activities? Brahmana does scriptures, telling, explaining these things to others. And as I told you, Kshatriya's profession is to fight in the wars. Vaishya is to carry out this business. Shudra is to take care of all the amenities, whatever is required for other people. So this is the basic definition of these four. So based on that varna, swadharma, I am coming to this shloka now. Swadharma means whatever responsibility you have according to your varna. That means if I am supposed to teach in a medical college, teach in any other, we are all teachers, professors, I should do my work perfectly without any ulterior motive. Whatever is given to me, I should not try to, that is my aptitude, that's my skill, I have chosen this profession, that becomes my swadharma. I should not try to copy somebody else and try to do something which does not suit me, because never I will be successful in that. This one I have accepted, and my tendencies have taken me to this profession, let me do this perfectly. That is swadharma. And so swadharma is according to your varna and according to your ashrama. And varna, I told you, according to guna and karma. So as I told you, we are teachers, we are doctors, we all come under actually categories. Everybody who is into education and who is into this kind of medical profession or teaching, everything, we all are brahmanas. So accordingly we have to do that. And one more is ashrama. Ashrama, as I told you, yauvana, grahastha, brahmacharya, grahastha, then vanaprastha, sannyasashram. 4 ashramas are there. That means in the entire life span, it is divided into these 4 intervals, time intervals based on your age. So when you are up to the age of, let's say, 18 or 20, you are called brahmachari, brahmacharya ashrama. So when you are a brahmacharya, what you have to do? What is your swadharma as a student? When you are grahastha, that means householder, once you get married, what is your responsibility and your role? That is your swadharma. Then when you become, after maybe 60, 65, when your children are grown up, when your responsibilities towards your family come to an end, then what do? You become a vanaprastha, means you have to devote more and more time for attaining spiritual knowledge. That becomes your swadharma. Then when you complete that, ideally they say, maybe after 80 or so, you can become sannyasi, where you don't have any kind of attachment. Then you can isolate yourself mentally, even if you don't go to Himalayas and do meditation. Being within the family, total detachment, ultimate. Vanaprastha will be preparation for that. Sannyasashrama is attaining more and more of that, practicing that renunciation. That is sannyasashrama. So swadharma depends on your varna and ashrama. So depending on what is your profession, what are your responsibilities, you follow your swadharma. So, and that following Swadharma is so important. He discusses again. Now, Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya. What is your Swadharma? You have to fight this battle. And there's nothing higher than following Swadharma. That statement is extremely important for us. There's nothing higher than following a Swadharma. There's nothing higher than doing our responsibilities with full commitment. There's nothing higher than that. Ade Shreyas, that is yad yuddhat Shreyo, Shreya anyat Kshatriyasya na vidyate. Yuddha, for a Kshatriya, there's nothing higher dharma than fighting the war. So this is the meaning of Swadharma. So that we must understand what is our Swadharma and continue to do that, and do not, I should have been that, I should have been this, itara, keep on cribbing. We should never do that. We have chosen, and or that has chosen us, and we are here. So let us do carry out our responsibilities to the best of our ability. Not only, especially for people like most of us are women here, we have another responsibility of being a wife, being a mother, being a daughter-in-law, being a mother-in-law, whatever those are as per the society norms. We need to fulfill those, whatever reasonable, in a reasonable manner. No overdoing, no underdoing. So that we have to understand. Next. यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्. So he says, yadruchaya chopapannam swargadwaram apavritam. See, this kind of, you have got an opportunity, Partha. He says, you have got an opportunity which has come on its own. You never asked for it. It has come on for you to fulfill your responsibility or to manifest that your talent. This one has come as though the doors of heaven are opened. It's as good as opening of the doors of heaven. That means heaven is approaching you by giving you an opportunity, such an opportunity. This is an opportunity which is equivalent to equivalent to entry, free entry to the Swarga. Only Sukhinaha Kshatriyaha Partha, very few Kshatriyas who are really fortunate, happy. Sukhina means very few happy Kshatriyas get this kind of opportunity. You have got, Arjuna, to prove your ability. All these years Arjuna has won so many small battles and wars, between the different kingdoms and all that he has proven. So he says, this is an opportunity, don't let go. So sometimes even in our life we find big challenges, such big problems, we say we just can't handle it. But what happens is, we find them as problems and we try to run away from that because we become very emotional. But here we must understand, Krishna is making Arjuna a little more matured person and bringing him out of that emotion which is particularly called as moha. He is more attached to those people, and he is trying to bring him out of that moha and try to make him concentrate on his dharma. So when you focus on your swadharma and dharma responsibilities, then automatically that moha comes. Or the other way, when you dissociate yourself from that emotion, only then you can focus on your dharma. This is also true. So he says, this is an opportunity for you. So whenever we face difficulties, let us try to view from this point of view, this point, let us see from this angle if we can look at our challenges or problems in life, which could be opportunities. We never know. It could be opportunities which are trying to make us better person, which are trying to make us more committed to our profession or our responsibilities or our swadharma, whatever it is. So he says it's an opportunity. Then, atha chetvamimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. So here he says, atha chetvam imam dharmyam. So if you refuse to engage in this sangramam, that means warfare, dharmyam sangramam, that means it's a religious warfare. Dharma yuddha. Why dharma yuddha? Yuddha means warfare or sangramam. It is because we are establishing this fight is for dharma, between dharma and adharma. So Kauravas have preferred adharma, you have chosen dharma, and you have to do this to show to the entire world and generations to come that it is dharma yuddha. So he says, now if you refuse sangramam na karishasi, then what will happen? Then swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. You will incur sin. You will become sinful by not doing your swadharma and giving up your reputation. Kirtim cha hitva. By not fighting, you will lose your reputation. In simpler words, by not fighting, you will lose your reputation, and you will also, it also means that you are not performing swadharma. Okay, if you refuse to fight, it means that you are not following swadharma and you are giving up your reputation. So what does it mean? Two things. One, swadharma we have already discussed. For a person of Arjuna's stature, he is going to be role model and he is going to be remembered throughout. For so many generations, he should become a person who should be remembered because he is a person of that caliber. He is a person of that caliber, therefore he should be remembered. Now what is he doing? So Krishna says, if you do not fight, if you refuse, then what happens? This is what is going to happen. And these two, giving up swadharma is a sin. Giving up reputation is also a sin. That's what Krishna is saying. By giving up, by not doing, you will be giving up swadharma. It implies that you are giving up swadharma. It implies that you are giving up your reputation, and both are going to lead to a sinful action. This is going to be papa. So we must understand how much he is giving importance to swadharma. Following swadharma is extremely essential, because if you do not do your swadharma, then you are incurring a sin. It is that bad. That means following swadharma is so important for all of us. Whatever, again I repeat, doing our responsibilities is carrying out our responsibilities is extremely important. Whatever responsibilities, what are our responsibilities? There are some guidelines prescribed. Of course, they undergo some amendments with different yugas, but there are certain basic norms which are prescribed in Manusmriti. Manusmritiyal kottidane. Brahmachari, Upanishads tell who is a grahastha, who is a brahmachari, who is a vanaprastha person, and who is a sannyasashrama person. So we have to read those scriptures and then follow whatever is told to us, whichever is applicable at our times. That also we have to see. Whatever is applicable reasonably, reasonably. For example, having in and whatever is applicable to that particular land, that particular land. For example, having as a family norm, husband has a wife and he has children, and that builds a society. It builds a healthy society. In some areas, one person can have more than one wife. That is dharma in that land. In this land, that is not dharma. In some communities, it's not dharma. So that can be followed. That has been followed since so many yugas. That becomes a norm even till today. All right. Woman should never go out for work. I mean, it's not advisable. It's not done. That was a time in the pre-Vedic period. During Vedic period, again they were educated. They came out. They studied. But today's world, every woman wants to work. Every woman wants to be financially independent. That is still a dharma. So like that, with the time, certain rules and regulations do change, as long as they are in the purview of dharma, and as long as they are not going to disturb the society, it has to be considered as dharma, and we have to take it forward. So therefore, Krishna says, following swadharma, not following swadharma is as good as committing a sin. So all of us have to focus on what are our responsibilities. And reputation, what is the meaning? If you must safeguard your reputation. What is the meaning of this? Arjuna represents the great family, of Pandavas, and in the Hastinapura dynasty it is. So you belong to such a great dynasty, and you have been trained like that. You have undergone training. So you need to maintain that reputation for your clan and for yourself. So you cannot afford to lose your reputation. You should not behave or act in a way that people start criticizing. Next one, actually, in the next shloka, I think next to next, it comes to that. So therefore, he says, do not refuse to fight for your swadharma as well as for your reputation. अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययां सम्भावितस्य चाकीर्तिः मरणादतिरिच्यते. He talks about reputation, akirtim. So he says, akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishan. They all start talking about you. If you refuse to fight, they will say you are a useless fellow and you get such bad reputation. And having this bad reputation is as good, it's worse than maranad atirichyate. If you become infamous, it's worse than death. He says to Arjuna, dying is easier, but being when people start talking about you, they speak ill about you, and when you get a very bad reputation, then disrepute is considered to be worse than death. That means, again, like he is emphasized on having a good reputation. Amar. See, when you do good deeds, no, you live in the hearts of people. Just like we talk about great people like Gautam Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi, or so many people who have worked for the benefit of mankind, we remember them till today, isn't it? Because they live in the hearts of people, we remember their good deeds. They have never behaved in a way that makes us criticize them. So similarly, he says you ought to fight and prove that you have followed your dharma to the T, and let not people talk bad about you. Bhayadraṇādu paratam mamsyante tvam maharathaha yesham chatvam bahumato bhutva yasyasi laghavam. So in all these shlokas, Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna, after he speaks about Atma and all that, again he is coming to the normal, to a little lower level, to make him understand, to make us understand. See, if you suddenly go to nature of human, Aham Brahmasmi, it may not retain in our mind for a long time. We may not be able to retain that. So he comes back and he tries to make it relatable to him. Because now he is relating himself to Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya. All these people are there in front of me. How do I fight? Now in this shloka he says that, so Bhayat Ranadu Paratam. So the great Paratam Mansyante Tva Maharathaha. What the Maharathaha, like Bhishma, Drona and all those great people, Maharathaha, if you withdraw, they will feel that they will assume that you have run out of fear. You have run out of fear. You are a coward. Okay? Bhayat Ranadu Paratam. You ran away from the battlefield out of fear. That is what the great Maharathaha that will assume. All those people who are looking up to you all these days will say, this man ran away with fear. And all those who held you in high esteem, they will start looking down upon you. Laghavam. They will start looking down upon you. So Arjuna, note one more way of explaining to Arjuna. See, you believe them, no? You want to be you don't want to kill them, and you go back. But what will they think about you? They say you have gone out of fear. They will never understand that you did this out of your attachment or love towards them. No, nobody will think like that. Now everybody is expecting that you must fight. As a Kshatriya, you have come there, you have accepted, 1 foot ahead, do not go back. That is what Krishna is repeatedly telling him. And again, as I said, it is a lesson for us also. Avacha vadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantastam तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्. Still, he wants to make this point more intense. Krishna, he said, if you do not follow Swadharma, it's as good as following, I mean, committing a sin. And then he says, people who are looking up to you will start looking down. And then they say, not only that, they will start avachavadam. They will start using all kinds of bad, foul words, because we don't know different kinds of, there are so many varieties of people who can speak anything. So avachavadans, he has put a hidden thing. A dhira, a warrior, a brave fellow, he is running away. What does it mean? It means he is a coward. Not only coward, they say incapable, even impotent. They may say is not able to do anything like that. They may use, and the hidden meaning is there. Avachya vadanscha bahun vadayishyanti tava ahitaha. That is unfavorable for you. Ahita, which will never make any, I mean, which is never in your favor. They will start speaking, they will start discussing. Nindantastava samarthyam. They will start doubting and criticizing negatively about your ability. Samarthyam. Tato dukkhataram nukim. What else can be more depressing than this, or more painful than this, or more sorrowful than this? Arjuna, he says. Do you want to have this? People talking about you, people criticizing you. We may say, let people criticize whatever it is, I will do what I want to do. You can do that. That's what we many times we tell, no, I will do what I feel it is right for me. But what we must understand is, we should do what is right as per the law of karma or Bhagavad Gita or scriptures, or not whatever I like to do. Whatever you like may satisfy you, but it may not be good for you. So he says that you may not like to fight, but what are the repercussions there? What will they do? How will they talk? Would you like to have this? What else can be as painful? So it has not yet happened. Imagine if Arjuna goes back, then these are the likely things that can happen, and then Arjuna will definitely feel bad. And see, people go into depression when you hear. Recently we had one very famous journalist, I don't know if you have heard, in Karnataka, no, her name is Aparna. She was such a fluent speaker in Kannada language. Her Kannada language was flawless. Nobody can speak. She was a very well known compeer and anchor. Yesterday or day before, I was listening on the YouTube about her husband. She died recently of lung cancer. So this girl developed lung cancer, and somehow I have this mind has a great influence on your body. Mental health will have a big impact on your physical health. So what happened was, she was a very successful compeer, very successful anchor. In somewhere in between, people started commenting, and people were jealous about her success. Every state government programs, she used to be called for anchoring, and others who were equally good, not as good as her though, but they started commenting, putting it on social media and all that started disturbing her. And when it started, within it may not be directly related, but to some extent it affected. She developed lung cancer. Even after that, lot of people started condemning her publicly on Insta, Facebook, everywhere. She could have recovered, but that affected her so badly. Her husband was saying that probably it worsened, and she could not come out of it. When she was diagnosed itself, it was in an advanced stage, but she could not come out. She pulled on somehow for 1.5 years. So this kind of ninda, criticism, today's world, people are always on social media. So anything, anybody who is little well known here with respect to Arjuna, or well qualified, or a known figure, they are easily prone for such criticisms in public, and that can affect them to a great extent. Now Arjuna is a great warrior. In the entire country he is looked up. Now look at him. If he is criticized, what will happen to him? So they say it's insults, apamana, is worse than death, because when you die, you are out of this whole atmosphere. We don't know what's going to happen. We leave all these people and go. We don't know about that apamana later on. Whoever is speaking, I don't think anybody, because that sharira will go somewhere. It will isolate itself from this whole world, and it starts looking forward. But apamana, insult in this life, when we are hale and healthy, somebody is talking so badly about us and we get to hear that, and we are high achievers, then imagine what will happen to us. You imagine what will happen to you if you hear. It's worse than that. That is why I told you in the beginning of this session, there was one person in our known place in our hometown who was very efficient person. Somehow he could not get promotions, a senior professor, and then we found at the age of 57 he hung himself because he was not given due recognition in his profession. So it has hurt him so badly, and somebody spoke something about him, and then that made the management take a decision and not give him promotion, and he committed suicide, unable to withstand that insult. Unable to withstand that insult. So you can understand that we may say we must take mana apamana, tatha mana apamanayo. We have to, but still it's very, very difficult. Therefore, Krishna is warning Arjuna. That means follow your swadharma, then you are spared from all these. If you follow your swadharma, it protects you. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. One who follows dharma and protects dharma. Dharma means, I am saying, conduct, not the religion or caste. It is your profession, your responsibility. Dharmo rakshati. He who follows dharma, rakshitaha, rakshita, he is protected. If you follow the traffic rules and something goes wrong with you, then the police has observed that you have followed. Whoever has not followed, whoever has it, he will catch hold of him and he will be punished. You may get hurt, but you will never be questioned in the court of law because you have followed the traffic rules. Therefore, just like that, if you follow your dharma, whatever is prescribed to you, then you are safe. Then you do not incur sin. Sin is actually not a very common word in Bhagavad Gita, but somehow since it's known, that means it can say bad karma, something like that. It's as good as performing a bad karma. So like that, he is emphasizing that Arjuna, follow your swadharma. Do not give scope for apamana, ninda, avachyavadamscha. So avachyavada, let people not start using abusive words for you. So follow that. So same lesson for us also. Follow your swadharma. If not, there may be all these bad words, ninda. As it is, people talk. Do not give scope by not performing your swadharma. As it is, there are people who are always criticizing or always commenting. So that is happening. But when you follow your swadharma, you have that security. You feel, let them speak. I am doing what has been told. What is my swadharma, right? So with that, हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीं तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः. One more explanation, one more way of convincing. Okay, now follow your swadharma. Then what happens when you follow? There are two outcomes. One is hato, you may be killed. Hato va prapsasi swargam. If you die while performing your swadharma, then you will be going to swarga. You are following swadharma and then you get killed or you die. It's okay, but you will get swarga because swadharma is so important. It is held at such high esteem. Even if you die, don't worry, you will go to swarga. Anyway, people are interested after death, of course. Then, if you win, jitva va bhokshase mahim, you will enjoy this luxury. Luxury means you will enjoy that position, that power which you deserve. Actually, he deserves it. Then, tasmat uttishta kaunteya, get up, kaunteya, get up, and yuddhaya krita nishchaya, decide, take a firm determination that you are going to fight. So again and again he is trying to convince him He talks so many things about Atma, Adu, Idu, ella helbittu. Then again he says, come on, now you fight, get up, don't refuse, follow your Swadharma, reputation, and people will comment. So many things he will tell. Again he says this. Then he says, and as you do your Swadharma, Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papamavapsyasi. Beautiful, what we say, punch dialogue of Bhagavad Gita. This is punch, we say punch dialogue. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya. First statement talks about dualities. The entire Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita is to go beyond dualities. That means both sides of the coin should be both are sides of the same coin. What are those? Sukha, dukkha, all opposites you see. Labha, alabha, and jaya, ajaya. What is the meaning? Sukha, dukkha, happiness and sorrow. Labha, gain or profit and loss. And jaya, ajaya, win or lose. So opposites. So he says, Sukha dukkhe same krutva. You must, in all these conditions, you should be the same balanced person. You accept dukkha just as sukha. Accept alabha, loss, as profit. Accept defeat or loss, again losing in a battle or in your any of your things, or as winning and losing, and profit and loss, and happiness and sorrow must be weighed equally. This is the whole essence of Bhagavad Gita. Very tough, I am telling it as told in Bhagavad Gita, but very difficult to practice. But we must keep on contemplating, meditating, reminding ourselves. As I told you in the previous session, I repeat, both for sukha and dukkha we must say, this too shall pass. Okay, I am just going. Okay, I am just it's just passing. After this I know dukkha will come. I will just sail through. How do we sail through? How is it so easy? But this is the maturity we should have, because only one thing, if we remember, nothing is permanent, isn't it? Nothing is permanent, neither the happiness nor the sorrow. When you are in sorrow, just say this will pass. When you are in sukha also, this is going to pass. Let me not be overexcited. And when you are dukkha also, let me not. How best we can, how can we accept this? By having a constant temperament. How can we have constant temperament? Every day we should follow spiritual practices, or every day we should remind this. Every day, sukha you remind. Every day have a balanced approach. When sukha is there, if you say that this is temporary, then you will not become egoistic. You will not become egoistic. You will take it as a fact of life. Both are going to be there. You should not be. If you are aware, if you are conscious, when sukha comes, be conscious. If you follow bhakti, I'm not going to that. I'm just talking at this level, our level. Practical way. Even if you don't think of God or bhakti or whatever, just a practical. You observe in your own life. There it has been a roller coaster, right? There has been ups, there has been down. So what changed? Nothing changed. But through both, what we have to do is we have to learn. So as long as everything is taken as a process of learning, and what am I learning? How am I going to become better with this? Then we can accept sukha and dukkha. If you go one step above, then you say it's all manifestation of the divinity. It's all manifestation of Krishna. It is his doing. And therefore this is all materialistic Maya. It's going to be temporary, and my goal is to reach him. And therefore I shall accept. This is a spiritual thinking. Here, if you follow Swadharma, if you follow, this is a statement comes following Swadharma. So what it says is, when you are following your dharma, that is your goal. I have to do my given lecture completely. I have to do my cooking perfectly. I have to take care of my parents in the best possible manner. In this process of following your Swadharma, sukha, dukkha, everything will come. That is another way we can interpret this. Everything will come, but it will not affect me, because what is my goal? my goal is to give my 100% to my Swadharma. Let me give 100% to my Swadharma. What am I? I am Vanaprastha. My goal is to meditate, to do japa. I will not bother what my son is talking about me, what my son is, where he is going. It's I have done. If he talks to me, I will talk to him properly. I will advise him. If he doesn't, I will not interfere. I will not be nosy here and there. So I will take care. Vanaprastha. I am telling this because I am getting into that Vanaprastha now. So my responsibility will be to think of God and be kind, be selfless, spread this message to as many people as possible, particularly in the family. Be lively, be joyful, and try to appreciate the younger generation. And these are some of the things which I can think of. Rather than that, if I start asserting myself, Nande Nadibeku, it's my home, everybody should listen to me, I am still earning, I am still having this position. No, that will not work. That won't work. That is not my Swadharma. So, during my Swadharma, what I am trying to say is, if I focus on my Swadharma, then somebody says something, doesn't matter. I am following. My goal is this. Now I should do this. Supposing you are a grihastha, you go out, you earn money, you are getting money or getting some income for the family, and when you come home, somebody picks up an argument with you, fights. Doesn't matter. Leave it. Your job is to just take it very lightly and focus. That is your dharma, to earn. Dharma, artha, kama and moksha. These are the 4 things in grihastha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Follow dharma, follow the dharma conduct. As I said, have a family, be loving, that is dharma. Get money, artha. Get some desires, whatever in your as far as the in the, I should say, boundaries of your dharma. And then practice little bit of spirituality towards moksha. Get more spiritual practices can be done later, but right now be aware that we have to, moksha is our ultimate goal. These are the things, swadharma in grihastha. So when you are a householder, these difficulties will come. Sukha, dukkha, profit, loss, everything will come. Just be very calm, because let me focus on giving my responsibility maximum time and my energy there. So when you focus there, your all these dualities can be controlled. Esha te bhihita sankhye buddhir-yoge tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So beautiful shloka. Now he takes him again to higher. He takes him to a little higher thing. He says, now I have told already about Sankhya. Sankhya means analytical knowledge. He has already told about Atma, and he has told about the properties of Atma. As I told you, it is indestructible, immutable, and incomprehensible. Very few people can understand, although people look up to it with great, with a lot of surprise, but very few will actually understand all that I have told you. Now I will teach you the yoga of intellect, buddhi yoga, yoga of intellect. Actually, there is no such category of yoga as such, but using this intellect for karma or our activities. So it is basically a karma yoga only. Buddhir yoge tvimam shrunu. Listen, I am going to talk to you, I am going to tell you about yoga of intellect. Buddhya yukto yaya partha. By following this yoga of buddhi, buddhi means applying this intellect in your activities, karma bandham prahasyasi. You will get rid, or you shall break through this karma bandha. So there are 2-3 different words. Sankhya means Sankhya yoga, analytical knowledge. He has talked about Atma. He has talked about Atma. So, but actually Sankhya philosophy, we have discussed in our Bhagavad Purana also. Sankhya philosophy talks about numbers. Okay. So it talks about in the body we have 5 karmendriya, 5, I'll tell you what it is. 5 jnanendriya, then Pancha Mahabhuta, Pancha Tanmatra, and then 4 are Manasu, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, mind, intellect, the Ahankara, or you can call it as an ego, but it's much more than that. And then the Chitta is little above that. These are 24 items of this body. Very interesting, given by Kapila Muni, Sankhya Yoga. But I mean, based on, of course, this Krishna, this philosophy only. Kapila actually, they use Sankhya philosophy, they link it to Kapila Muni. So, and then these are 24 items. 5 Jnanendriya means all these organs of vision, that is eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, sense organs. 5 Jnanendriya. Then there are 5 Karmendriyas, hands, legs, and then speech, and then 1 genital and 1 organ of excretion. 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Tanmatras. Tanmatras means it is the touch, smell, those were organs, sense organs. These are 5 senses: touch, smell, taste, what else? Touch, smell, taste, sound, and then touch is for skin, smell is for nose, taste is for tongue, and then sight for eyes, and then touch. So 5. So each of these sense organs, we have 5 tanmatras, senses there, means objects of these senses, object for this sense organ. So 5 tanmatras. Pancha Mahabhuta, that is the space, then the air, then water, then the Prithvi or the land, and then fire. These are 5 Pancha Mahabhutas with which the entire world is made up of. 5 senses, 5 sense organs, 5 organs of action, and then 5 elements, and then 4 are mind, the intellect, and then Manasu, Buddhi, Ahankara, ego, and then Chitta. Chitta is still above that in consciousness. And then the 25th one is the Atma. So this is Sankhya philosophy. This is how the body is designed. We will know more in later chapters. So according to this, all the sense organs and all those, they try to take you away. Mind is the link between these sense organs and the Atma or the superconscious or yourself. So it's little deeper. So he says, all this I have told you. Now let us understand Buddhi Yoga, with which you can overcome your karma bandha. So that is the last thing for today. I mean, one more shloka, and karma bandha is breaking from karma bandha means what? Let us try to understand. See, the whole philosophy of this Bhagavad Gita is based on law of karma. You do good, you get good. Think good, then good things will happen. Speak good, good things will happen. Thoughts, words and actions, all these 3 define your karma. So when you think good, so we always assume, we talk behind their back, something we talk, we criticize, or we develop some kind of hatred, but we assume that it is happening behind, so it's not happening in front of that person. But this is a bad karma, because thoughts are as bad as actions, as bad as words. So we must safeguard our karma in such a way that we think good, talk good and act good. So when you do this, good karma will come. When you do bad, bad karma. This is a basic understanding. So what will happen is, good karma and bad karma. Good karma means you will live little more happily than the bad karma. Understood. But it will not release you from birth and death. Who's interested? As long as we are happy, I don't mind taking birth. This is one level of understanding. But as you keep on taking birth again and again, as you keep on doing good karma, no, what happens is, how long? Because when you take birth also, there are certain prarabdha karmas which will affect your body. You will fall sick, just like Gautam Buddha observed, no? There is suffering, there is a disease, there is physical disease. Mentally I may be able to overcome, but suffering. When will I get out of this birth and death. That question will come. That will tell you that as long as you are attached to karma, good and bad, you will keep taking birth. What is the meaning of this attachment? As long as I expect certain things, I have done this much, I expect this much, I have done so much good to this person, he should reciprocate. These expectations means you are doing good karma, but you are getting attached to the results of your karma. As long as you are doing that, we will take birth because you want to experience the goodness. The minute you decide, I don't want anything, I will just do karma for the sake of karma, what happens as an outcome, it's not my concern at all. My duty was, this is going a little above Swadharma, mind you. So I am doing my Swadharma, but along with that, if I practice a principle which says that only the effort is mine and whatever comes is not mine. Bhakti Marga person says whatever comes is his prasad, I will accept as it is. A person who's a thinker, Jnana Margi says, I don't have anything on that. He will just leave it there. The whole thing is done. It is just happening around. I am Brahmasmi, Satchidananda Swarupa. Just whatever this body mind is doing, it will do. Nothing beyond that. So, as long as you do not expect anything out of your actions, if you start practicing that, then karma bandha, that karma bandhana will go. You will not. But if you are doing good karma, as long as you expect, then it is kind of attachment. It will keep bringing you again and again, again and again, again and again. So therefore, he says that I will teach you a buddhi yoga, that is a yoga of intellect, which will tell you how smartly you can perform your karma. In other words, it's going to speak about karma yoga only. We shall see that. So last shloka for today will be Neha Bhikramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate mahato bhayat. So he says this one, now what I am talking about, Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga, this one, if you practice this, definitely whether he doesn't talk about benefit, he says there are no adverse effects. You can take risk and apply because there are no adverse effects. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Moreover, swalpamasya dharmasya, this dharma, whatever I am telling now, if you practice, trayate mahato bhayat, little if you follow, it will take care of your so much of your fear. That means it will make you fearless. Long back, I attended one this was long, many years ago. So he gave a statement. He's called Avadhut. Avadhutanta. There is one he's a kind of saint. So his opening remark when he was giving a discourse, he said, somebody asked him, can you put the entire spiritual practice in one word, or benefit of entire spiritual practice in one word? He said nirbhayate. Nirbhaya means fearless. The entire spiritual practice will, whether how much it benefits, it will be realized later. But one thing is for sure, that it will make you fearless. You will not be afraid of anything because you get that security of Atma or security of God, whatever you call it, in whichever marga you take. It will give you so much of security and confidence, this spiritual path, that you will become fearless. You should not become arrogant, but definitely people who are afraid of so many things, anxiety, depression, or panic attacks, whatever, everything goes away because there is a sense of what I should say, that something is with me, something is guarding me. Therefore he says no adverse effects. If at all it is there, it's all beneficial effects. That is one. Mahato bhayat, little. I had told this statement, again I repeat, a person, an ordinary person who is not into this spiritual or this kind of thinking, if he commits 100 mistakes, a person who is aware commits 10 mistakes or maybe less than that. Not exact proportion, but the proportion of mistakes that we commit as a spiritual person or with a person who has started some kind of awareness within himself, realizing some awareness, he commits lesser mistakes. That is one. And second thing is, one more advantage is, when we take a next birth, this one is going to progress beyond this. We need not start from scratch. The spiritual practices, they are so beautiful, just like the bad karma, this also accumulates. So if you have grown from here to here, we have learnt all Bhagavad Gita one round and we have not done Bhagavad, and I die saying I should have done Bhagavad. Next Janma you will do Bhagavad and your Bhagavad Gita will come back to you. Probably all of us have done some amount of, definitely we have done our spiritual journeys to some extent in our previous birth, because of which you and I are sitting here and discussing. So this is the beauty of following this dharma, buddhi yoga, karma yoga, whatever Krishna is teaching. So that with that we conclude, and let us start practicing this principle. Today's takeaway, two key words are Swadharma. All of us are doing that. Let us involve more in that, number one. And that Swadharma is based on our Varna, based on our Ashrama. What we are supposed to do at this stage. Each one of us are in different stages. So for everybody it will be different, isn't it? The dharma for each one of us, by and large to that category it will be common, but all of us are mixed crowd. So let us see what I am supposed to do at this stage of my life. So we shall follow that with full commitment, and that is the goal, to reach the ultimate freedom from birth and death. And getting that freedom itself is the purpose of human life, because they say there are 8.4 million species in this world. This I must tell you. We have crossed all that in evolution, and we have got, in Kannada we say Durlabhavadantha Manushya Janma. A rare opportunity is to be born as a human being, because we have what differentiates us. Bhagavanta consciousness, he says, Krishna says, I am there in all living beings, plants, animals, all species. But he has given us the special intellect, or the free will, you can say. He has also given free will. You can make a choice, and with that choice we should try to improve ourselves. If not, we can go back to the lower species. That also is there. I am not talking about good karma, bad karma. Sometimes the people are so worst. We have seen people, extremely tamasika people, they can go back. A person who wastes his energies in only sleeping, lazying, not performing any useful work, Swadharma is miles away, he may be reborn as some animal which only sleeps, isn't it? So why not? That is his karma. So therefore, let us be very conscious, cautious, aware what we do, what we think, what we speak. So that is for today. I end my session today. Any questions or anything to be added? Anybody? You can voluntarily unmute and speak.
Ma'am,